Und damit ein herzliches Willkommen zurück zu einer neuen Folge von Vampyr, nachdem wir, ja, nachdem sich das Spiel aufgehängt hat. Hä?
Bloody monster!
Das ist schon wieder so ein 30er, ey. Seid ihr irre? Wenn die einzeln sind, komme ich zwar gegen die anderen, das ist doch echt. Ach, der da oben. Ey, um die Uhrzeit.
If McCullum really drank the blood of King Arthur, then I may have found another vital ingredient for my recipe.
Ja, irgendwie kriegt er nicht so viel Schaden. Jetzt muss ich gegen Callum schon wieder kämpfen. Nur, dass er jetzt als Vampir noch stärker ist.
Good evening, Vampire Hunter.
Are you here to mock me, Reed?
Not at all, McCullum. I am here because I need you.
Really? I'm intrigued. Speak up, then.
I need the blood of a king. The blood of Arthur. I'm certain you possess it, and I must have it.
The Guard's most sacred and precious relic. Why would you... You found Marshall's memoirs. I should have destroyed that book.
I need the antidote to save this city, McCullum.
It is within me to take your words as truth. I want to, but I must know more. What precisely are your plans?
A creature called a disaster is about to be unleashed. It falls upon me, as once it did Marshall, to stop it before the whole country is ravaged.
I should have destroyed that book. And yet... I wish I could join this battle alongside you. But this crusade is not mine to fight.
Do you not understand? We wanted the same thing from the outset. A means to end this vampire epidemic.
Not enemies! Maybe that is so. Take it then. I see no other hope for this city. If this is some trick, you will be damned, Dr. Reed.
Thank you. Can we speak more?
Indeed. Why not?
How are you adapting to immortality?
I feel so powerful it gives me shivers. I could be the greatest vampire hunter ever. Your worst nightmare, in truth.
Will you hunt me down?
Not for now. But you had better behave, Doctor. Or I may change my mind.
Will you leave the Guard now that you are what you are?
Are we not creatures of deceit? I could hide my nature from my men, or name a successor. Go my own way. I know not yet my path.
Why are you here?
The man who raised me after the brutal murder of my parents. He's buried here.
Were both your parents killed by vampires?
Yes. And yet worse. My father returned to Dublin a vampire, and tore out my mother's throat.
And who was this man?
Carl Eldritch. One-time leader of Priwin. He killed my father in front of me. Helped me hunt my brother Ain after teaching me how to kill leeches.
Farewell, my progeny.
Do not stretch your luck, Reed.
Gut, gegen ihn musste ich nicht kämpfen. Das ist... Oh Gott, ist das gut. Wäre jetzt doch recht nervig geworden. Und jetzt nur noch in einen Unterschlupf und das Blut herstellen. Aber ich bin nicht mächtig genug. Ich muss mir noch ein paar Opfer holen, die es nicht verdient haben zu leben. Vor meiner Figur rumsorgen. Wir brauchen das noch gar nicht herzustellen, das wäre nicht so klug. Na, immerhin haben sie hier die Vampire getötet. Naja, die beiden kann ich nicht töten. Sie sind nicht böse. Clayton Darby ist jetzt auch ein netter Kerl. Ian.
Good evening, Mr. Whitaker.
It's Father Whitaker, my son. So, are you still lost in your rational delusions?
Was weiß ich noch nicht von dir? Er ist auf jeden Fall ein Mörder. Und ich glaube, auf die paar XP können wir auch noch verzichten.
Why did you send Samuel to the cemetery, Tobias? What did you see there?
I sent him on a vision. A dream of a dreadful and laughing queen covered with blood, sleeping with the dead and feeding on the fear of the dying.
You sent a man to die because of a stupid vision. I have heard enough of your nonsense. Goodbye. Good evening, Mr. Whitaker.
It's Father Whitaker, my son.
Bring ihn jetzt um, ist mir egal.
So, are you still lost in your rational delusions?
Ich kann den überhaupt nicht ab. Sack. Wo ist dein Gott?
Please forgive me, my lord, for my eyes were blind to the devil in front of me. My task will remain unachieved.
Don't worry, don't worry. Du bist gut, du bist auch gut, du auch, du nicht. Muss ich sie nur wiederfinden, aber ich... Da.
Good evening, my dear colleague.
Findet der jetzt nicht irgendwie komisch oder so, dass ich hier so ins Gesicht packe?
My brother. I can't see anymore. I'm cold. Forgive me. For this time, I really leave you alone in the dark.
Ah, ich finde das so gut. Don't worry, don't worry. Okay, die lohnen sich sowieso nicht. Ja, 8000 ist nicht sehr viel, aber naja, immerhin. Ja, falsche Richtung.
It's like I'm used to seeing death.
Na, wir können uns ja sowieso noch gar nicht entwickeln. Dafür müssen wir ja erstmal noch ein paar Leute heilen. Aber wir können es herstellen, das ist ja... auch in Ordnung. So.
The blend seems stable. Time to go and find Harriet in the sewers.
Ja, noch nicht, noch nicht. Erstmal heilen wir wieder ein paar, dann gucken wir mal. Leveltechnisch würde ich schon gerne noch ein bisschen nach oben kommen. Und natürlich jeden platt machen, der es verdient hat. Selbst wenn noch nicht alle Hinweise vorhanden sind. Oder die Mission erfüllt ist. Aber ich würde mir die jetzt einfach dann holen. Die eine bei diesem Skal-Priester, die ist ja nicht wirklich böse, ne? Die ist einfach nur mega unfreundlich, aber die hat nichts Böses getan. Zum Hort. Wo ist der denn? Ach, da hinten irgendwo. Das trifft sich gut, da muss ich nämlich sowieso hin. In die Richtung. Aber ich muss erstmal hier hin. Nee. Shit.
Stay back, beast!
Oh nee. Obwohl der auch nur 32 ist, ne? Das müsste eigentlich gehen. Ich meine, habe ich gegen 35er gewonnen. Ah! Teil eines guten Abzugs.
Hello again, Carol. How are you?
My mother always told me that she had to protect me from the cruel world. Now I see what she meant. This is a harsh and violent world, Dr. Reed.
Yes, Carol. As you know all too well, it can be a violent world.
I don't know what you mean. And I prefer you call me Miss Price. I'm not a child anymore.
Do you remember now what your mother did to you, Carol? Do you realize how badly she treated you?
My mother was a sick person who was afraid to be alone. Her whole life, she looked at me like the embodiment of all her fears and failures.
Nein! Ich bin gerade versehentlich auf die Taste gekommen. Gucken wir erstmal hier.
Hello again, Dr. Reed.
Do you need my medical attention, sir?
Indeed. I've never been good at explaining my feelings, but I can tell when my body is hurting me.
You have nothing to be worried about. You should recover by taking this.
Sounds so easy to fight disease. Too bad it's not the same making people smile again.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Baker. Good evening, Mr. Baker.
Why do I always have feelings of déjà vu when I talk to you?
Ja, ich hab keine Ahnung.
Do you need my medical attention, sir?
I'm afraid I do. I knew we should have left London.
I don't want to appear tactless, but you're risking your health by remaining outside at this hour of night.
Says the doctor who also works outside at night. But as always, the imprudent person enjoys the company of their fellows.
Goodbye, Mr. Baker.
So, wen haben wir noch? Okay, sie. Wo ist sie jetzt hingegangen?
Good evening, Miss Price.
Mr. Reed, have you come to pay homage to my mother?
Do you need my medical attention?
Oh, please, sir. Do not waste your time with me. There is nothing to be worried about.
Don't be shy. It's my duty to take care of you.
Thank you, sir. Much obliged.
Do you remember now what your mother did to you, Carol? Do you realize how badly she treated you?
My mother was a sick person who was afraid to be alone. Her whole life, she looked at me like the embodiment of all her fears and failures.
Your mother was very sick, Miss Price. Her sadism towards you was only an expression of her mental disorder. She was a victim too.
Perhaps you're right. Perhaps my mother was a monster. Or a victim of some mental illness. All I know is I can't imagine my life without her.
How do you really feel, Miss Price?
I feel like I'm on the edge of a cliff. Fear of being alone is pushing me toward the void. The weight of unanswered questions incites me to jump. I feel lucid.
Are you going to be all right without your mother here? Financially, I mean.
I have inherited all of my mother's money. She always told me how poor we would be if we stopped working. But as always, she took care of everything.
She lied to you then?
Maybe she did. But that was for my own good. My mother loved me, Dr. Reed. Her will testifies to that.
Goodbye, Miss Price.
So, dann machen wir hier an der Stelle erstmal ein Folgenpäuschen und ja, in der nächsten heilen wir noch die anderen und gucken mal, wen wir noch wegschnabulieren können. Bis dahin, ciao.